and strength and stuff like that. But when you watch him, Kyron just kind of looks slow. But he does his job and he does it well, and he always gets us short yard passes. He's a savvy player, right? Like no one's complaining about Kyron Williams other
I don't
than
think I've
Doug
heard a
Nah.
single. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a single. He's slow. Do you mean he's slow in the way that he play like a Le'Veon Bell type slow, or do you mean he's slow like you
Not a
think he
patient
can't
runner.
get
He just looks slow. Like he looks like he's gonna get
no.
me 4 or 5 yards every time. I'm not gonna. I don't
Gotcha.
see that much explosion, but I haven't looked at like explosive rate.
I I would stay away from a little of those like the advanced analytics with stuff like that. I would stay away from those. I would just watch the film and see if he's got the juice.
Yeah, and that's so. I think they're gonna get more equal usage this coming year. And I really like Corum where he goes versus in taking Kyron instead of like Travis Etienne, who's going to get all the work
No,
on
yeah,
the Saints. You know, I
no,
don't.
it's always better to go for value in the backfields, especially if they're going to be somewhat of a 50-50 split.
Yeah. Because
Um,
we're on the clock again. Meant to do the review. Totally talked over myself during that. So we're pretty
Bijan
stacked at receiver. Tight end, I think we're ahead for where we're at this point in the draft. You want to go another running back? We got Brian Robinson with Atlanta, Tank Bigsby, both backups.
yeah, Bijan Robinson.
We'll take Brian Robinson and to handcuff Bijan Robinson.
We got the B Robinsons, brother. We'll be all right.
We got the Robinson family. I was gonna try and tie it into Atlanta treehouse somehow, but there's no Falcon pun I can make. On the way back, you want to get a receiver. They all kind of suck here. Ayuk might end up playing for the Commanders this year. That's a big rumor. Dontavian Wicks is now this pretty much second receiver in Philly because AJ Brown is almost certainly going to be dealt to the Patriots on June 1st. Jared
The
Judy,
Jets just got.
AD Mitchell.
They just rolled in with Geno Smith, though, right? The Jets.
Yeah.
He'd be an okay pickup.
So AD Mitchell.
He'll be fine. I mean, I'm not married to anybody at this level of the draft, dude. This is all home run hitters. Like, who do you think can have 1 or 2 games where they just explode?
Wicks. Wicks did it last year already. He's about to get into a way better volume situation. I do think Ayuk too, though. If we get
He'll have a couple games probably, but if
we get
everybody
3/4 of the player that we got in San Francisco, that's going to be good enough on this Commanders team if Jaden Daniels stays healthy. You know,
yeah. I mean, these are big caveats, though. Like, they're going from injury-riddled San Francisco to injury-riddled Washington. And it seems like the training staffs in both places have no idea what they're doing.
yeah, like Dallas's training staff too.
Oh, they're getting better at least. These people are getting healthy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there was at least like 10 years in there though where just felt like every year half the defense plus the quarterback.
Yeah, and it was every other year the quarterback was hurt, but it was like the quarterback would get hurt with freak stuff. Like Romo broke his back on a cheap shot that just wouldn't happen in a normal situation.
Yep.
Dak, when he broke his ankle that one time, it was on the now like illegal hip roll tackle, which at that point in time was just an efficient way of bringing down a dude who's 6'4".
Yeah.
It's not like the quarterbacks are getting hurt from these soft tissue. I will say this though, the one Dak had a couple years ago where his hamstring separated from his glute or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That probably could be something that you blame the training staff for. But as far as like
they didn't take good enough care of his glutes.
They probably just like overused it in the workouts, or they probably understretched, or they probably even overstretched it before the game. There's so many things that could have.
They overused the glutes and didn't prepare the glutes well enough.
You got to prepare the glute, brother.
Got to prepare the glute.
You want a pulled glute? It's not fun. And when the glute pulls your hamstring muscle off it, it's bad, real bad.
Yeah, when the hamstring and the glute separates, that's when the hamstring is glute free.
Not to detract for that pun. I do like Dalton Schultz at this range if he's there. I do like a little bit of the booty. As we were talking about, no, they say booty online. Like when they do the broadcast, Troy Aikman calls him booty.
Keisha. Oh, I wasn't trying to correct the pronunciation. I was just saying Butte.
Oh, you were just saying it
Uh,
that way? Okay, okay. I was
yeah.
like, no, 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 it's booty, man. I swear.
You
We were
can't
speaking
have
of
my
all the
booty.
speaking of all that glutes. I do like booty in this range,
Hey,
but I also like.
your boy Flanoy's coming up.
Oh, do we reach or do
Let's
we
check.
wait for him to come back around?
Let's check. Let's check. This dude who's at the turn has 5 receivers, 6 receivers, and they're kind of sus. Like he's got Harrison, Jaden Higgins, and Jerry Judy. So we might not take Flanoy, especially because we have Dak. Um, I like either pick. I like Flanoy or Booty. I think they're going to be about the same, like role player, 4 to 6 touchdowns. Um,
Um, yeah, you're probably right along those lines. But I like Flournoy a little better than I like Booty. But this is a little bit of a bias on my part.
let's
I
get your
will
guy.
admit,
Let's get your guy. You called 1,000 yards for
but
Flanoy. Like, let's get him.
I think 9 to 1100 is a really reasonable spot for Dallas wide receiver three in an offense that's going to be like prolific, man. This is
That's
going to be a
crazy.
fucking exciting year to be a Dallas fan.
That's
I'm not
crazy.
gonna be like, oh, this is our year, Super Bowl. I don't know about any of that. We'll see how it plays out. But as far as the
The
regular season goes, if Dak is healthy, this is gonna be a good year to be a Cowboys fan.
the turn man took 2 running backs. He kind of reached on them too. Do we want our
Oh,
last tight
Barry
end here?
Allen, dude, the Flash.
But Braylon Allen. What do we want to do? Do we want to get our last quarterback with Tua Rogers?
No, if we're gonna go quarterback, it's got to be Rodgers or Shador.
I just clicked Rogers just to
That's
round
fine.
it out. We ran out
I
of
I
time.
have it's between the two guys. I like, oh no, we got Hall of Famer or upstart. Like, you know.
Yeah, I kind of like Tua better there for our team because we took the 2 Atlanta dudes, but
Two
Rogers works
is
fine.
I I I know why you like stacks and stuff like that, but I think when you get to this point in the draft, it's more about just trying to hit your home runs because we have guys who are going to consistently perform week in and week out well enough to get us good positioning.
Yeah,
Now it's just about the home runs that are going to get us over the hump. And I think that we did well. I think that Shaheed pick that you dropped was actually going to be like the gem of the draft.
yeah, wide
I think,
receiver too, right? For the
yeah,
Seahawks, undisputed wide receiver too. The
but
Torrey
it's not
Horton.
only that, he does a lot of work in the special teams game, and with all these rule changes that we've had going on, it seems to be a little bit more exciting as far as returns go. And I mean, he had one big one in the postseason. I think he had in the Super Bowl too, if I remember right. Um,
He could sneak a couple of those touchdowns
this
in. I
extracurricular
think Cooper
touchdown.
Cup's not
Right,
getting any
yeah.
younger.
Oh well,
Um,
yeah, but I mean, he'll still be heavily involved in the offense, anywhere between 6 to 800 yards for the Cooper Cup man.
well, that's what worries me about Shaheed is that I think the
But
Seahawks are
she,
going to just want to run. Like the Seahawks to me, they scream we're not going to be as good as last year. Uh, Both because they lost Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet, I actually think is a pretty good back. Charbonnet, I think I had like
Charbonnet is nice.
35% of last season.
We just got to see what
Um,
happens with the draft for him. This is a running back heavy draft,
yeah.
so they
Well,
might be able to do some
Charbonnet
interesting.
had those 2 knee injuries last year, right? So and they
Right.
happened late in the season, November. So they're not going to have much of a running game. I think they picked up Emmanuel Wilson. They're theorized to get someone like Jadarian Price, Notre Dame's second running back, who's pretty awesome, but
Dude,
he's
okay,
not really a
so
pass catcher.
Jadarian Price is literally just a shade less good than Jeremiah Love.
I like him too, man. I got a lot of
Like
him. I've been watching some film on him.
a
I really like him.
shade
I just can't
less.
see him I can't see him taking a 4 yard screen to the house, but the dude runs with
I can
power.
I can see.
And he's just punishing, and he's fast. He's very fast.
So that's
Um,
it was you remember how Zeke was able to do that his first couple of years where he just catch a screen pass and then outrun all the safeties because they took a bad angle.
yeah,
Um, I do see Price having a very early start to his career, something along those lines. I mean Zeke was Zeke and he led the league in rushing 2 out of his first 3 years. So we can't really just give him that like he'll be the next Zeke right now, but
yeah.
I do like the player comparison anyway. as
I
far
just
as
hope
what he
he
could
gets
be.
to a spot that lets him. Seattle would definitely be a spot where there's like a
Mhm.
vacuum at running back.
Just a good offensive line in front of him. I mean, I know we signed Williams to a long term, but I know if we have that 20 pick and we did pretty good on the defensive end, like if we somehow were able to finagle Downs with that 12 overall, maybe we just go best overall at 20 and there's Price right in our lap.
Yeah, that would be awesome too.
You
Because we're
know,
not getting any younger at running back either. We got
no,
about
and Williams. I mean, your concerns were valid. Yeah, we'll get back to that.
yeah. Receiver really thinned out here. Chamir DK's number 2 receiver on the Titans. We do have Cam Ward, probably not a bad option. We can round
Where's
out tight
Tolbert
end.
playing this year?
What's that?
Where's Tolbert playing this year? Miami.
Miami. He's probably gonna be the number 1 receiver for Miami outside of Malik Washington.
You
Got
know
five
what? I
seconds
mean,
here.
why not take a chance on a random wide receiver one?
I told fuck. Oh, I missed it. I missed
No,
it.
all right, that's all right.
Auden's a
We
good
get
third tight
great on.
end.
All right, that's
He
fine.
rounds it
We
out.
got
Yeah.
we got Baker's guys, so we'll be okay.
All right, 2 picks here. There's just a bunch of rookie running backs at this point. We can go through some of those names, but I think they'll be there for us when we come back. Receivers, DK is the best name, probably volume wise. Pat Bryant, I really like. He's going to be second year for the Broncos, though now he's playing behind Waddle and Sutton. There's Tolbert, like we were saying, probably a lot of volume there, but Malik Willis throwing, who knows?
Take Tolbert.
Tolbert, okay.
Yeah, I don't feel great about Malik Willis, but I feel good enough about Malik Willis that if he's got a primary target sitting on the waivers, we should run him.
I think, Malik Washington, I think, is the guy that's going to inherit the target. And then, Miami, everybody talks up Jordan Tyson to Miami or Makai Lemon to they're just throwing out all these top 4 receivers of
Well,
the
yeah, just
rookie
whatever
receivers.
receiver. Yeah, I get you.
Whereas I think what they should do is probably go offensive line because they should commit to sucking this year.
Well,
Buy
I
them
mean, if
another
you
year.
draft offensive line and you have decent enough skill players, you're not going to suck. You're just not going to be great.
They just
Dallas.
lost their head coach too, though, right? It's going to be
Well,
a
that
team
might
that's
be a good
like
thing.
without an
That dude
identity.
wasn't looking very good his last couple games there.
Yeah.
Made some really questionable decisions, especially as far as Tua is concerned. And I don't know if to put that on him or the front office, but
He gave up too, he
it
gave
seemed
up
like
too, I
it.
think.
I mean, just from an outside looking in perspective, I would say that for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely looked a lot more invested his first couple years in Miami, and then ironically enough, he seemed to want to push hard for the Tyreek Hill trade, and then that seemed to be the point in time when it kind of shifted. Like they went from exciting upstart team to now there's like actual expectations, and then they just like flopped.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they had just allowed their team to build a little bit more organically, they probably wouldn't have had all that nonsensical extracurricular pressure added onto it, the Miami circus that it became.
I have seen nothing but undisciplined from Miami since Mike McDaniels pretty much took over. They get really sloppy in the preseason, and they're really only good for like the first 4 games of the season. And I'm
And then they
convinced that's
start to get
because
film on them.
they
Yeah.
make the opposing team stand in the sun when they're in Miami,
Yeah.
and they make them
Yeah.
wear the
That's
dark colored uniforms so that way the sun like really wreaks havoc. And then you got Tyreek Hill blowing by these dudes who are like from New England or something in a 95-degree humid day. We never see him execute on the road well in the playoffs. They had that one awesome snow game against the Bills where they scored like 30 points and still lost. That I just haven't seen a spine from a Miami team since like 2009 or something. Whenever Tannehill was a quarterback or something.
you're gonna call that those are the spine filled Miami years.
That's what I'm saying. I just haven't seen it, right? Like I don't have anybody to compare it to. There's no heyday of Miami
You know
for
what?
me.
There really was.
I'm too young for Marino years, and even
Right.
then they didn't get it done, right? Like
Well, obviously not.
so. Hey,
Yeah, there were a couple mid 2010 years where I thought Miami might do something really nice, but they never could put it together.
we got what are the couple of picks till our last one. I usually go 6 running backs in this kind of format. We are kind of top heavy, and we took some bets I think can really pay off, especially with the with the handcuff on Robinson or with our Robinson stack. So I don't think a running back's necessary, especially because it's just rookies who may or may not be involved. We're kind of thin at receiver. Do you want to try and add some depth with someone like Tez Johnson for the Bucks? Tyquan
I,
Thornton for the Chiefs. He could probably spike a couple of weeks for us.
I like Dotson, but where's he at this year?
Dotson is Jesus, I know this one. Shit. Let's see if
Wait,
I
you
can
just
just
you
queue
just
him up
scrolled.
because
Nah,
fuck it.
pick now. You got to pick now, quick.
I got him queued up. I got him queued up. We got Dotson. We got Dotson. We got
We
Dotson.
got
Did no
Dotson
one care?
here.
Did no one care?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Did we actually get Dotson or did I end up going up?
Yeah, you did. You got him.
It just didn't load on my final screen there. Okay. I'm out of time for tonight because I do have to do some work, but this was a really fun first stream.
All right.
I think we can review our team. Let's see here. Okay, so final team: Dak Prescott, Cam Ward, Aaron Rodgers. Running backs: Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Blake Corum, Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, completing the Robinson stack.
Be
Chris
right there.
Olave, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, Wandale Robinson, Rashid Shaheed, Dontavian Wicks, Ryan Flanoy, Jalen Tolbert, and Jahan Dotson. Also Atlanta. Man, we should have gone 2-0 with Rodgers instead. And then I got Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, and Kate Otten.
Okay.
I feel like it's a pretty good team, well balanced overall. How do you feel about it?
Pretty good. I mean, in all honesty, we attacked this the way I would normally attack a fantasy football draft that is season long. My week to week strategies are obviously a lot different. It's a lot more home run mixed in with it. I try to stay away from the consistency there because you need to be different.
Yeah.
But for season long ones, man, what I look for is, are they going to play the majority of the games? Do they play for productive offense? And are they a semi weak division?
Okay.
I love to draft from the NFC East for obvious reasons. I love to draft from the AFC East. The AFC North has a few fun players here and there, but I never know what to do with Baltimore or Pittsburgh. Other than Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, who are pretty much mainstays in fantasy. A lot of what we did here, I'm a big fan of. I like the home runs that we went for. I think Cam
Yeah.
Ward can have a few games where he just plays out of his mind. Same with Aaron Rodgers. He is who he is.
Yep.
The B Rob squared is going to be nice, however that works out, because we'll have best guy up. And if
Yep.
they have a two-headed monster game, we'll be the recipient of that as well.
In the NFC South, we might get that too. You got to play
A few
the
times, a
Bucks.
few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think teams like Carolina and Tampa Bay are going to retool rather than rebuild because they were just kind of like injuries away from actually being really good teams. Especially Tampa Bay, they were literally injuries away from being a 12 to 13 win team this year.
Yeah, Daniil Hunter getting injured kind of that crippled their playoffs as much as the Baker
Right.
kind of struggling toward the
The
end of the year.
Baker, yeah, and then the Baker, because he whatever was going on with him, he clearly wasn't playing at 100%. He was playing ridiculously hard because he's Baker Mayfield, and
Yeah.
he's going to do that. That's his bag, and we all love him for it.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's going to be a bit of a, like I said, a retooling year rather than a rebuilding year. I think they're going to have a really good season overall, and I think that we're going to be on the receiving end of that, literally because we got Kate Otten.
Yep.
We all love Kate Otten.
The rest of the receivers look pretty good to me too. I liked all the ceiling picks that we took. Like Olave, I think he's a ceiling pick because the team was so bad last year. He's only going to be better in Tyler Shuck's second year. They didn't add too much competition at receiver. I think Devon Vele is his like main competition. The Saints are also a prime candidate to pick up someone like Jordan Tyson, though, or one of these top four receivers. And then they added Travis Etienne. I think they're going to be more competitive without the defense necessarily coming along, which would be really good for the passing game. Like you were saying,
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd
want
be
to
like
play good
Palestine.
offensive teams against bad in a bad division because then they get all those weak matchups. Mike
Yeah,
Evans, we both like a lot. Can he stay healthy is the question. Terry McLaurin, same situation as Olave. I think there's nothing but ceiling for the offense if it stays healthy. And it was bad last year, so you're getting great value because this guy was going like round 3, round 4, and now he's going pick 50. Wandale, same situation, bad offense last year, but that Cam Ward bet is compounded with this top slot receiver option. He's got a lot of talent around him too. Cam Ward. I
agreed.
do like Tremere and DK. I do like Alec Iomanner as well. Both those guys popped out as rookies last year, but Wandale's probably going to take that number 1 job. Shaheed, all the ceiling, right? That's
Yeah,
who he is. It's probably the second receiver. Hopefully, the new offensive coordinator doesn't waste his time. The only thing that scares me is it's got to be a good defense in a year. They're kind of going into a regression. This may just be try to run the ball, except they can't run the ball because they got rid of all the running backs. They got rid of their main running back, and Charbonnet's hurt. So we'll see what happens there.
I think it'll be something they address in the draft. But we'll come back to
Oh
this
yeah,
the next time we hop on
yeah,
after the draft has happened because it's tomorrow, I think, right?
yeah. Tomorrow,
Um, so we'll be able
Dontavian
to,
Wicks. Another
yeah, we'll
upshot
be able
case
to connect
here, second receiver for Philly. He's going to probably surpass Hollywood Brown as that. Devontae Smith, I could not be more excited for this coming year.
Well, we're
Flanoy,
also looking at AJ Brown drama too.
yeah.
So
Oh,
we
AJ
might
Brown's getting dealt. That is
yeah,
almost
so we
certain.
we
Yeah,
might have struck legitimate gold here.
yeah.
Pulling in Philly's wide receiver 3 or 4 because of that nonsense that's going on at the top.
And Wicks had a 48-point fantasy game last year. This guy spikes every
So
year. He's
he's
going to
got
be
the
yeah,
ceiling. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. He's not so good at like beat you over the middle possession receiver. He's not a power slot type, but the dude owns the outside. And he'll for sure like eat up those hospital balls in the end zone from Hurts.
Gotcha.
Flanoy, you're way more bullish on than I am, though. I have a bunch of him this offseason so far. I think we're good for 6 touchdowns and 600 yards here, like Tesla last year. You're way higher on him, and if that's true, in round 16, we smashed receiver this year.
I agree.
Um, Tolbert, Miami, got to be a vacuum of targets. He's going to be competing with Greg Dulcich, Malik Washington. None of these are good outside options. We saw Tolbert be a rock for the Cowboys. That is a third receiver.
Yeah.
So probably
Yeah,
good.
and that's really the only reason I'm so comfortable taking him there. If he's going to be playing the part, I'm not saying he is a wide receiver 1, but if he's going to be playing the role of wide receiver 1,
Yep.
I especially with Malik Willis, who actually is a pretty good thrower of the football.
At least
Um,
last year he was
well,
for the
just
small sample that we had. I
in
agree.
general, he is a good thrower of the football. We do have enough film on Malik Willis to know that he can spin it with the best of them. Now, whether or not he's going to be able to put together the film, put together the reading a defense pre-play, making the adjustments pre-play, making the adjustments mid-game, so on and so forth, who knows? Also, it is Miami, and the system is notoriously shaky, and they're bringing in a new coach, obviously a new offense.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all shakes out. But if in the later rounds of the draft, you can get guys who are going to be playing the role of QB1, wide receiver 1, running back 1, they're going to have a few games where they just hit that season. They just are.
Yep.
And in a situation like best ball where it's, best player wins out the week, why not take those chances,
Yep. Dotson, I was doing some research on him, and he was one of the top prospects in the last like 5 years or something like that. This guy really could have been something, and I feel like his career got submarined between the pinballing and the Commanders and the Eagles. That he did back
Yeah.
and forth. I think there was some injury stuff with the quarterbacks around him at the time too. But I've always liked him, and he's about to enter another vacuum situation, like we've been talking about with Tolbert and Shaheed to some extent, but certainly Wicks. But he's going to have almost no competition outside of London and Pitts. Um, so I feel really good about the talent. Let's see if he can execute better than Darnell Mooney did in the same setup last year.
Yeah, man,
Um,
Mooney was a bit of a letdown for me. I
Massive.
expected some things from him when he left Chicago, but then again, it's not like the quarterback situation was super stable in either place. So who really knows? Maybe we should be running a hashtag free Darnell Mooney. You know what I mean?
Well, he's going to get his opportunity in New York this year. We'll see what he does with it. I don't think he'll do shit, but
Well, with the
Neighbors will be out.
Giants,
So
he signed with the Giants. Is that what I'm
yeah,
understanding?
he's out there with the Giants now, and
Okay,
so Neighbors might not be healthy to start the season. The kind of knee damage he sustained was not a simple like one ligament tear. It was other ligaments impacted. So I think he's. I don't know when he's coming back this year, but we'll
okay.
see. So it could be a
Well,
good opportunity. But Harbaugh has already stated he wants to beef up at running back.
I
Um,
figured they were going to be going Jeremiah Love with the number 4.
So the Giants got number 5. The Titans go number
Oh, the
4.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, and so right now the Titans are like minus 130 to take Love. There's something else that teams do though pre-draft, which is say I'm going to take this person, so the other teams around him have to trade them up to get ahead. And the Cardinals are
Yeah,
doing the
Bill
exact
Belichick
same
with the
thing as we
Baker
speak.
Mayfield situation.
Like the Cardinals brought in Tyler Algier. They have Trey Benson and James Conner. They re-signed Connor. And they hadn't said a word about taking Jeremiah Love all off season except for this last week. All these reports came out of nowhere and started saying the Cardinals are interested in Love. So give me a break. No, you're just trying to force one of these other teams to buy up. Because the Cardinals suck at every position, so they could certainly use like 2 1s or the one year this year and then like 2 2s or something like that, right? Like almost certainly fake reports, and that's kind of how I felt about the Giants. You got Scattaboo. I know his ankle was on backwards or whatever, or his foot was on backwards last year, but the dude's already running again. He's already jogging at practice.
I,
I think he's gonna be
yeah,
fine by the season start.
I'm
And
learning
then
where athletes are concerned that these injuries that we think are devastating, we kind of just got to chill on and let them heal up and see what happens.
yeah, and
Uh,
at this point in the offseason, you just kind of make the bet anyways, unless it looks terrible and the injury happened very late. Like with Charbonnet, I've been very reserved because it happened November. But with
with
Scatterboo,
yeah,
that was
as
early.
far as what, dude, I just don't like Scattaboo in general because I don't think he's going to play a full 17 ever in his career.
Just injury. The way he plays, it just gets him hurt.
It's the way he plays.
Yeah,
And I mean, I'm sure he's heard it his entire life, but he's also made now a legitimate career off of it. So suck it, nerds, right? But
yeah,
like, watching from our perspective and what we're doing, like as fans and as people who are somewhat invested into these extracurriculars, I do advise away from Scattaboo a lot. I
yeah.
cheer for him because I love guys who play like that. I loved Bill Bates in his day. I loved Mike Alstott in his day. Um, but this is a rough style of running, and I do worry about his longevity because of it.
If he can stay healthy, though, the guy's like I don't know. It's like watching a bowling ball made of silk run. Not very fast, but the way he
Oh,
initiates contact, finishes through, and yet he's able to sort of like glide away from people at the same time.
right.
uh he's just a baller, man. He's just a baller, and I didn't believe it last year. I was avoiding him all over the place in drafts, and as soon as I saw him take this first snap in the NFL, I was like, "Fuck!"
Miss
I
him.
really
Yeah,
missed
miss him.
on my analysis here because
I
everything is telling me this guy can play with my eyes, but everything is saying that this
dude,
4.6
you
40 time,
gotta trust the eye test, dog.
4.6 40 time, like that matters less for a running back, but got like when he's just
The
trying to get draft capital, like, and then he's gonna
the
go play for the Giants. I don't
the
trust anything
analytics
about the situation. Like,
the analytics can be your kindest ally as an athlete or your worst enemy as an athlete. And what I mean by that is if I do enough advanced analytics on any player, I can make a case for them being the best player of all time or the worst player of all time. Um, the eye test rules all in my book. If that dude looks like he can play ball, he can play ball.
yeah, yeah. I should have trusted him more. I don't think I would have landed as heavy on him still, like a 30%, because he's still going in like the fourth or fifth round.
I mean,
And
I
there
would
were plenty of good
certainly
running
hope you
backs.
didn't just go buy into Cam Skadaboo because the skepticism is real. Like his running style is odd. He did land with the Giants. We didn't know what Jackson Dart was going to look like. We had no clue. We still really have no clue what the offensive line is going to end up looking like. There is warranted skepticism on both Scadaboo and the Giants' offense as a whole. But adding Harbaugh into the mix is going to be nice. They've drafted pretty well over the last few years, so we'll see if that trend continues. And if they're able to beef up the spots where they need to, get a little more depth at running back, so Scat doesn't have to take all the carries, that'd be nice for him too.
Well, I trust that they're going to beef up the defense. Like that's going to be a much stiffer team to go up against without,
The
some,
Giants. I don't know,
yeah.
man. I see where you're coming from, but I feel like they're going to go the Dallas route the year that we drafted Zeke and just try to go for points beat all.
I don't think Dark can throw like that. I don't think he can sustain passing offense. I think they're
Well,
going to have
if
to
I don't
play
know if you,
defense, and they're as a result, Scatabo's going to get a lot of like 5 yard goal line
but
carries.
we, I don't know if you remember that, but Dallas was the effort. Dax and Zeke's rookie year was spearheaded by 1,800 yards on the ground by Zeke and something like 300 from Dak. So it was like from our two backfield running mates, they got 2,100 yards, and that's not even including the RB2 who played pretty well that year. Um, so it's kind of like I don't see Jackson Dart leading like a prolific air attack, but I see him playing well enough throughout a season to be able to win 8 to 10 games. I'm not saying that'll happen this year, but I am
Yeah,
saying I see it being able to happen. And for the offense, if they draft a running back and offensive line, to look pretty nice on the ground.
yeah. I think just relative. I think they're going to be slow. They're a slower paced team, and I think they'll stay that way.
I think that'll benefit them too, because the teams that they're playing, like Dallas
Scatterbo.
and Philly, are real. They could have Dallas and Philly both have potential to be offensive juggernauts. Washington too, to an extent. So for New York to be able to just kind of know that their defense isn't super strong and put out the noise that they're going to attack next season through the run game, I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But Harbaugh is a pretty smart guy. We've seen it before, and we'll continue to see it all the way throughout his career, I think.
Yeah, provided all the other teams stay healthy at their major positions. I think they finished last in this division this year. But
Yeah, but I think last this year will probably be 6 wins instead of four.
yes, yeah, this is going to be a good division on paper, at
So,
least.
but I think the middle teams are still going to be 8 and 9,
Yep.
8 and 9, 9 and 8, 10 and 7 area. The division winner might win 11 to 12 games,
Yeah, I see a lot of parity this coming year too. Just running out the
especially
team.
this division.
Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, Kate Otten, solid tight ends all the way through. Ferguson alone would have been a good first tight end to take. I
Agreed,
think
agreed.
we both have him pegged down for somewhere between like 6 to 10 touchdowns,
Yeah,
somewhere between 5 to 700 yards and 50 to 70
easy,
catches or so.
easy.
His average depth of target, I think, last year went down. He wasn't as involved downfield, but when you got Pickens and Lamb on the same team, what else are you there for? But just cleaning up the underneath and
So
outside.
Ferguson
Um,
looked a lot more like Jason Witten last year than he had in years past, where he was running
yeah,
seam routes and post routes.
yeah,
This year was a lot more of out routes, comebacks, sit in the spot, wait for the ball to follow you.
yeah.
Um,
Because we got the flash on the outside, the flash and the bang, right? Like the
and with
teams
a
are going to
running
be
back like
distracted.
Williams in the backfield running the way that he did,
Yeah.
defenses have to step up and then drop back hard everywhere else. And Ferguson's just going to come out in the wash real nice the way that Witten used to.
And Dak is just like how Tony Romo was, where that Cowboys tight end,
Oh,
they're going to be a meaningful, involved spot in the offense. They're always at
yeah.
least
Yeah.
the target three, if not the target two.
Dude, I mean,
Always.
this is even going back to Aikman and Novacek, man. Like the
Yeah,
the tight end in Dallas is an important position for us,
yeah,
and I think this season Jake Ferguson should be locked into a pretty nice one.
yeah. Pretty nice to add to our Dak stack, along with Flanoy, and then of course our other two tight ends. Warren was one of the better rookies that you could have picked We've been kind of spoiled with rookie tight end prospects between Bowers, Warren, all these guys last few
Calvin.
years. Loveland too. But I think Warren's going to be right there again. My only concern with him is Daniel Jones. But like I said, we added enough depth at these other two tight ends where I think we'll be able to ride the spikes with Warren. It should be a high and stable floor with spikes mixed in. And then Otten,
Yeah.
that vacuum at receiver for other targets with Mike Evans leaving. The goal line presence, too, that Mike Evans leaves behind. That's going to be filled in with another big body. That won't be Godwin from 1 yard out, right? That's going to
Right.
be through the running backs like Sean Tucker or Kate Otten right there.
Cade
So,
Otton gets a lot in the back of the end zone when Baker scrambles, gets out of the pocket. That's where
yeah.
Cade Otton does a lot of his damage.
Yeah, and we always see it too when inevitably one of Evans or Godwin's goes down. Auden in the middle of the season is your guy, and you always get 3 to 4 spike weeks out of him from both the touchdowns and just the extra volume. I mean, he really pours on volume too in some of these
Yeah,
games.
straight
So
up an
awesome
extra
pick
three
there
to
toward
five
the end.
catches in any given week. Yeah.
He was a great auto draft. But well balanced team overall. I really really like where this is going, and can't wait to draft the next one with you, man.
I would like to run a disclaimer though before we get off. I know you believe in those stacks, the quarterback, receiver, and tight end stacks to have same pass catcher, same passer on the same roster. And I see the logic behind it, but I do firmly believe that on any given week, the best passer and the best receiver aren't always going to be on the same team. Um, so when drafting teams, it is important to notice that, or to note that if you have a choice between a stack or a choice between the guy you think is actually going to be better, you should go with the guy you think is going to be better than the stack.
I agree
Yeah,
to some extent, and this depends a lot on the format you're playing. For
right.
this particular site, where it's total points scored over the whole season, I do agree more with what you're saying now, which is just take the
Mhm.
best guy.
Best guy.
Because no matter what, that's going to probably result in more points than taking a worse guy, even though he just fits your quarterback arbitrarily or whatever. The pushbacks I have, even still against that on a site like this, is that you're chasing contributions to your totals. It's why we picked Cam Ward, for example, over Bryce Young. Bryce Young probably scores more points week to week, but we think Ward can spike better than Prescott. Well,
But so
when
that's
he's
my
spiking,
yeah,
yeah,
because
then
I
that
don't think
is
that
going to take
Bryce Young
advantage.
offers. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Right. And
we for
so the
what
other thing to do is just making a more concentrated bet. If we bet that the Dallas receivers are good, it's probably because the
right,
quarterback's good and vice versa. So now I don't
right.
need multiple things to happen. I just need the one thing to happen. So there's good
Okay,
reasons on either
I
side.
feel you. So you're
Uh,
just coming down with the variables as far. All right, and I
Yeah.
can buy that.
Last thing, last thing on this is that we're gonna draft on some other sites. Once the NFL draft happens, then Best Ball Mania opens up. That's Underdog's flagship, $2 million up top. Uh, DraftKings has their $2 million tournament. We're gonna be in these drafts, and these are tournament style drafts where there's playoffs. So your guys can suck all year, and in weeks 15, 16, and 17. 17 is where all the money is up top, right? We advance one playoff round in a $10 draft or $20 draft, we're gonna make $30. But if we
Yeah.
win week 17, we win $2 million. And to
Okay.
win that, you got to get everything right for that 1 week. And that's where stacking really matters. Because if you don't have
Well,
that
yeah, in
quarterback
week
plus guy,
17, you kind of have to though because
yeah,
there are teams benching starters. You don't have the variety that you would have throughout the regular season.
yeah,
So yeah, so for concentrated weeks, and this is what we do for when we do DraftKings and when we do our week to week lineups.
yeah,
Um, that was a good way for us to be able to kind of, you can't control the variables ever, but it was a way for us to create the illusion of control over the variables, was to be able to get some good stacks going.
yeah,
But I am saying that if you feel in your heart that a quarterback is going to have a great week and a receiver on a completely different team is going to have a great week, please go with that combination. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
don't second guess yourself, to stick to the strategy. Allow yourself to free flow
The
with the.
dudes, the dudes we stacked make a lot of sense. Like we took Dak with
Oh,
his
sure,
touchdown scores, right? Like
yeah,
these
a
weren't
hundred
random
percent.
pieces. Yeah.
So it's not that I'm dissuading from the strategy. It's that I do want people to realize that sticking to the game plan is a good thing, but it is also a good thing to kind of improvise here and there, to go
Yeah,
based on the vibes every now and then. Like,
yeah. And also, like to your point, just take the better player. If we're talking about two players, just take. Why don't you just take the
yeah,
fucking better player?
100%. But it's just like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's a point of contention in your head and you're wondering, should I go stack or should I go, with my gut?
Yeah,
And it makes sense because I mean people like to stick to their strategies. It's a good way. We got dad playing the lottery ticket, the same numbers for
same
how
number.
long? Same numbers. You know what I mean? Don't change it up. This is what we're gonna do. Me personally, I probably would have thrown in a few quick picks here and there, maybe changed the 23 to a 25. I don't know. Like I really don't know. You know how many times he's told me my numbers were only one off, and it was probably the time he felt like he should have picked the other number. Like, I don't know. But that's just what I'm. If your gut is
Yeah,
telling you
leave
to
some
go a
room for the
different way than
vibes.
the stack is a really good strategy for you to be able to base your team around. But when you start to get into those later rounds, start fading the stack and start looking for dudes that you just really believe in to have a good season
Okay, yeah, home
or
run
a good
upside
weekend.
is late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, man. Let's wrap it up here. We'll be back sometime probably after the NFL draft or during. Maybe we have some time this weekend. But you and I will talk, and yeah, we'll get the next stream out there.
All right, man. Sounds good. It's always fun to do this with you. Good to get the first one out, huh?
Yeah. After all the connection and audio issues, and
Hey, man, we're in our 30s. We can claim all whatever we want to claim. This stuff is complicated for us now. I wear glasses to read, so all the old people stuff.
all right, to all the old people stuff.
All
Thanks,
the
man.
old people stuff, man. All right, man. For the Rowdy Boys podcast, we'll see y'all. If you're tuning into the recording, thanks for tuning in.
Right, smash that motherfucking like button.